Hi everyone, hope you're well. This week's lesson for PSHE is all about well-being and activities you can do at home to keep yourself busy and occupied. So please, at the end when you're finished, do let me or your PSHE teachers know how you have got on. So before we start with the main part of the lesson, I just thought it would be useful if I gave you an update on what's been happening in lockdown 3.0. So as you know, at the start of January, we were plunged back into a full national lockdown. We thought this may last until February half term. However, with the mutant strains of the virus emerging and the UK surpassing the milestone of 100,000 deaths due to COVID-19, it was announced last week that schools would not reopen to pupils until the 8th of March at the earliest. Another date you need to be aware of is February the 15th. This is the date Boris Johnson is set to review the third lockdown in England. By this date, the government should have a clear picture of whether the lockdown has worked. And February the 15th is also the deadline for offering the first dose of the vaccine to the 15 million people in the 4 most vulnerable categories. And the pictures on the right hand side there are taken from Exeter West Point, which is a national vaccination centre. So as the current lockdown continues and we are unable to see the people we care about, it becomes even more important to find ways of occupying our time at home. Trying something different or learning a new skill may help us to find a little joy at this time. And over the next few slides, I'm going to give you some ideas that you can try. So now is really the perfect time to try something new or pick up something again that you used to enjoy. There are lots of different things that you can try and do at home. For example, painting, drawing, or even knitting. There's lots of YouTube tutorials that can help you get started. Or maybe try something like scrapbooking. Here are a few examples of some of the things that I've been trying since lockdown started. So I've got some crocheting that I did, and then I sewed it together and turned it into a blanket. Again, I just use YouTube to help me get started with that. I do quite like my craft, so I have also done some cross stitch, and you can pick up a cross stitch pack quite easily and cheaply from eBay or Amazon. And when I finished that, I also sewed it and turned that into a pillow. I do like trying to draw. I'm not particularly good at it, but don't ask what it is. There's something that I've been drawing at home, and then some scrapbooking. Here's an example of what I've been doing. So I've just printed out some photos and stuck them together, and I put that into a folder, and I've got lots of nice memories there. Otherwise, you can visit somewhere new from the comfort of your sofa. So if you put into Google, look at Google Arts and Cultures, you can go on virtual tours of lots of attractions and landmarks. So do check that out as well. Or perhaps if you are up for trying something a bit more physical, I do have another suggestion, so keep watching. So first question, take a moment to have a look at the image. Do you recognise it? Well done if you worked out that it is our very own skate park. We have a great facility on our doorstep, so if you've never used it before, why not socially distanced? Obviously, give it a try. So with lockdown and social distancing, we've all had to become a little bit more creative with how we exercise. If you're missing your weekly game of football, netball or rugby, for example, there have been other activities to keep us occupied. Do you remember the toilet roll keepy uppy challenge? Or maybe Joe Wicks is keeping you active over the internet with his online PE classes. And who needs a gym when you can lift tins of beans? But if you are looking for something a little bit different, you can now try your hands at the newest Olympic sport. So this sport is going to be included in the Tokyo Summer Games, all from the comfort of your own home. So here is a little more background on the sport of skateboarding. Skateboarding is thought to have been around since the late 1940s and is thought to have begun in California when surfers were looking for something to do when the waves were flat. It was therefore known as sidewalk surfing as a result. There are now more than 11 million active skateboarders in the world, and the sport is set to take its biggest step yet with its inclusion at the Olympic Games in Tokyo for the very first time. So it's a perfect time to find out whether you're regular or goofy, how to ollie, and what tic-tacking is. On the next slide, we have got 25-year-old skateboarder Jess Winter talking us through how she first got started in the sport. I will post a link to the video on Google Classroom, so please pause this YouTube video now and do watch Jess Winter's interview. So over the next couple of slides, I do have a few more strategies on how to cope in lockdown. It is really hard when we can't do the things that we normally would. And for many of us, that is made worse because we're doing it away from people that we do love and care about. So the BBC did speak to 4 young people who are locked down away from people that they love to find out their tips. And please have a look at the video, which I will post a link to on Google Classroom. And please do take the time to look at this next video, pause this YouTube video and copy and paste the link in your browser. This guy here, Josh Fletcher, he has advice on how to take care of our mental health while staying at home over the coming weeks and possibly even months. So do check out the video to hear him in full. So your task for this week's PSHE lesson is to get a piece of paper yourselves, and I would like you to write the alphabet A to Z somewhere on it. You can do it how you like. And I would really like you to write down an activity for each letter. You can use what the staff has been doing to help inspire you if you would like to, or you can think of your own ideas. That is all cool. And over the next fortnight, I just want you to tick off as many that you can do. And I want to ask you the question, how many out of the 26 can you tick off on your list? What I would then really like you to do is take a picture of your piece of paper with how many you've ticked off, and I would like you to email that to your PSHE teacher or upload it to Google Classroom for them to see. But please do let us know how you go. I am genuinely really interested to see. Thank you. Have a lovely fortnight, and I will post the next lesson for you in a couple of weeks' time. Any problems, anything you want to discuss, do please email me, kelly.maloney@teignmouth.devon.sch.uk, even if it's just for me to point you in the right direction for some help or any support. Okay, bye.